Hey there, everyone. I'm Rob. I'm the game master for the first night's game, where we play a bunch of Jedi in the far, far past of the Republic, trying to right some wrongs and keep a little peace. Thank you all for joining us for a show today, and we're going to get right into it. Now, a long, long time ago, in a faraway place, our Jedi encountered a situation with a galactic corporation called Maxstar. Since then, the Sector Rangers have done a little bit of research on behalf of our Jedi, and the Jedi find themselves in a meeting room aboard the Republic cruiser Rambler, meeting with a Sector Ranger and another senior Jedi Knight. So as you guys walk into this room at whatever pace, whatever speed, whatever differential you want, you don't have to get there at once, you will see two individuals waiting for you. One is an older human woman who is dressed in something that looks a little bit like combat fatigues, but are clearly, cut with Jedi robes. So like somewhere between the two. Mm-hmm. And a much smaller bird-like creature who is wearing a Sector Ranger uniform. So as everybody finally files in, the older woman looks over and says, "Well, I am told that you have acquitted yourselves well." Nirsol's words. "I look forward to working with you, but for the time being, I'm going to hand it over to Ataka. Ataka is one of our information specialists," and the small bird person waves. You are familiar with the older Jedi whose name is Leia Sol. No relation. She only has two names instead of a compound name. Mm-hmm. So the smaller bird person says, "All right, so when I got the information, I went looking for more information because that's what I do. And it turns out that Maxstar owns at least 4 contracts for colonies within the as yet unnamed sector." And her body language is agitated. You can't tell if she's just an excitable being or if something in particular has her anxious, or something else. But she does not look calm, and it may just be her species. You can't tell at this point, but she's hopping a little bit. Her feathers are ruffling. It turns out that Dar has some colorful friends, and she chirps a little bit, which is probably laughter. They pointed us in the right direction, though, and it's fortunate that they did, because otherwise we would have been running around for a while trying to figure out exactly who this Darson Baylor was, and exactly what his connections were. But the good news is that we know who he is. Baylor was a lieutenant to a crime lord in the Rim not too long ago, and it turns out that he's taken his business connections there and turned them into an opportunity with Maxstar.
Huh. Why is the sector as of yet unnamed?
Leia makes a dismissive gesture and says, "Well, it turns out that there is some squabbling over what the sector should be named in the Senate right now."
Why?
I won't pretend to understand politics, but it appears to be a matter of some dispute between 2 powerful families.
That are in the sector or that are in the Senate?
Both, it would appear.
It's politics as usual.
I don't want to, be too forward, I guess, but Are you okay? I just kind of point, like, gesture towards Attica. Like, you seemed real jumpy when you mentioned the crime people. Like, they're not doing anything we need to be dealing with to you specifically, right?
So she makes that chirping noise again and says, "Oh no. My frustration is with the Republic and their inability to name a sector that has a native species that is sapient and capable of naming the sector itself."
What have they named it so far? They couldn't have been calling it sector number 842B.
So this is currently being labeled in Republic documents as former Herglick Trade Empire.
Are the Hertlik the original native species?
You can see her feathers get very ruffled for a moment. She goes, "No, my people are. The Herglick were invaders."
Oh.
Go ahead and just give me a core worlds knowledge against one purple die, please. Nil.
Oh, okay. Sorry, all my stuff disappeared.
No!
Oh, there it is. Okay. Core world. 2. Okay.
Or hiccup.
Against one purple die, you said?
Yes. So, Nil, you're aware that the Herglick are from a planet called Giju, which lies just down the spiral arm from the sector in the core worlds. And because you rolled so well, you also know that they did indeed control a whole bunch of space out here that was typically colloquially referred to as the Herglick Trade Empire, because as a trade-oriented species, that was how they conquered places.
So what did your people call the sector?
And Etika, she smooths her feathers, like visibly smooths them down, and says, "We always referred to it the same way we refer to our planet, Merlisty."
What was that?
Merlisty.
Celestine.
And Leia weighs in, also what they call their species. Very easy to remember, also very confusing.
So if I have this straight, you had your sector and your planet, Merlisty. The Herglick came in, they colonized, took over, I presume violently. And am I safe to assume that the two powerful families are Herglick?
There's some more chirping here. And then she finally says, "The Herglick, despite their huge lumbering size and formidable physical assets, are not really fighters. I mean, don't anger one, he will break things, but they prefer to trade goods and to rope you into contracts that give them control of your planet, for instance. As far as I'm aware, the two families involved in the debate within the Republic are both human and older core world families who have colonial contracts in this as yet unnamed sector."
Well, that is complicated. Do Herglick have any connection to Maxstar?
Both Leia and Etika look like they're taking your question very seriously. And then finally, the smaller bird creature replies, "An interesting question that I don't have immediate answers for. I'll look into that while you all are looking into Maxstar itself. You have the use of a shuttle, and the cruiser will take you as close to the edge of the sector as possible. But you're headed for Dental, which is where Maxstar is headquartered."
Oh.
We thank you very much for your assistance in this matter, Ataka.
Very much so, yes.
It is always a pleasure to be of assistance to the Jedi. I will leave you to Jedi Leia, and I will get into the books and see if I can't find out about Herglick and Nagstar. Very interesting idea. And she'll leave the room.
Sorry, so are the Herglick a species, or they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't even have to roll to know this. The Herglick once controlled this part of space. It wasn't really a proper sector, and as far as you know, the Herglick are, I don't want to say passive, but aggressively non-violent is really the nicest way to put it. They are large, physically large, 2+ meters tall. They look kind of like whales that walk on 2 legs.
So they control with shadiness,
That's a good way to look at
like
it.
the banking clan.
Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah. Aggressively polite. But part of the
Or they
reason
kinda know
that
it.
right, part of the reason you're here is because they gave up control of those planets. Part of a negotiated settlement for some conflict.
Okay, so wait, so they gave up control to the Senate?
To the Senate, correct. Which is why you now have Republic charters for colonies, and then you also have some privately owned charters for colonies, and you also apparently have some sort of fight going on in the Senate about who is really the leaders of this new sector, and thus have the rights to name the sector.
I'm gonna
But
look
not the
at
Merlisti.
But not unrealistic.
I'm gonna look at Jedi Leia and be like, this mission is not like the other mission where we're expecting lots of gunfire and stuff. We're gonna be talking.
Gunfire. I certainly hope not. The core worlds are more civilized.
Huh. Cool,
To my
cool.
knowledge, Merlis T is at the far edge of the former territories, and this
Yes.
is the only world of interest in this sector.
I wouldn't say it's the only world of interest. It's the only one with a known native species, though.
Does Mexstar know that we're going to their headquarters planet?
Oh no. Telling them would be no fun whatsoever. You need to.
We are doing an inspection.
Sure, that's a great cover, an inspection. Especially considering they just had an armed rebellion in one of their colonies.
And also
Very,
considering they are having deep ties to the Republic, we have to make sure it is all safe.
Good. I can see that you understand what we're doing here, Padawan Nil. If there are no more questions, let's say we will meet on the shuttle tomorrow at 0700 ship time.
That sounds like a plan.
So she'll wait for you guys to file out of the room, and then you'll notice that she leaves as well, sealing the meeting room behind her, and disappears into the officers' quarters part of the ship. You have some freedom. You can do whatever you need to do before you need to get to the ship in the morning.
Is there anything specific? What is an example of things that we could, should, might be doing? While we
So-
wait for this shuttle.
Fair.
On board the ship, there are training facilities, and typically there is a more senior Jedi Knight available somewhere to conduct training. There is an armory you can check things out of that you might need for your upcoming mission. And let me be clear, when I say armory, I'm talking about a Jedi armory, which means that yes, there are a couple of blaster rifles and some blaster pistols and maybe a little bit of armor, but it's really more like, you know, here are your macro binoculars, here are your speeder bikes, here are your your long range reconnaissance toolkits, things that a Jedi is more likely to need than blasters or armor.
So the civilized and uncivilized sections.
Right.
I find the civility of a planet is largely based upon point of view.
Yeah.
And as you're standing in the corridor trying to figure out what you all want to do, there are a couple of sector rangers hustling past you. They look busy. And then there are a couple that are clearly off duty. Their uniforms are slightly unbuttoned, sleeves might be rolled up. They're looking a little bit rumpled, clearly not headed to a service station. So there is life on the ship.
I would like to go to the danger room and test my my newly learned reflect abilities.
Absolutely. That is a fairly normal thing to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can go as hard as you want to. And the danger room is set up to not actually hurt you.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
you can take as many stun bolts as you want to, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to spend the time in there learning to deflect more expertly.
Okay.
As this last mission has taught me, that's a valuable thing for Jedi to know.
Yeah. It turns out a lot of people have blasters now.
I would like to go check out and practice with a blaster.
Okay. What kind of blaster? 2 classes, light and heavy.
Oh, a light blaster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have no problem signing a blaster out once you explain that you want to use it for onboard training.
Technically,
tell you
all
is-
light blasters are all laser blasters are light blasters.
Hey.
I hate it here, actually.
I'm gonna allow that one because it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's an actual shooting range. It looks to be maybe 30 meters in length. Pop-up targets, the whole thing. You can go as complex as you want to, or you can just master the basics. There is a sector ranger available for more hands-on instruction if you want it.
Ooh, yeah. I'll take some hands-on instruction.
All right. So a older Shistavan male walks you through the basics of blaster maintenance, blaster field maintenance, and the proper way to fire a blaster pistol, including the 2 proper stances, and then kneeling, and then crawl.
Great. Does that mean I can spend XP on ranged?
You absolutely can if you want to.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go find
All right. Sadar has spent his time practicing his lightsaber skills, learning more about deflecting blaster bolts, and Nil has spent her time learning how to use a blaster pistol properly. Borican, I know you've got all kinds of projects. Anything in particular you want to work on?
Is there any way that I could probably, or that I can maybe go do some reconnaissance on what valuable resources would be of interest on this particular planet?
On Dental?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So you can go ahead and make a Core Worlds check, and because you have access to the Ramblers libraries, you get 2 bonus dice, and it is against difficulty 2 because you're looking into trade information. So 2 purple. And while he's doing that, can I ask the rest of you to hit your special rolls button and go ahead and
yes.
roll your destiny?
Do I need to do that as well?
Yes, but when you're finished.
When I'm finished. So I got my core worlds, I got my 2, my difficulty. But that's not set back.
And that's equal to force rating.
Yeah.
No. It's just you just roll the destiny
Gotcha.
button. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
2 green, 2
Borican,
purple.
Yeah, 2 purple, 2 blue, and your core worlds. No setback.
Gotcha.
It's interesting. You run into a lot of things that make you suspicious that somebody has done a lot of work concealing that information. The Republic trade decks should have told you what you were looking for, but it turns out that yeah, you came up blank, man. But I will tell you that it was obvious to you, because you got all those advantage, that that somebody actually went to the effort of concealing a lot of that information. All right. Balin?
So I had an idea of what I wanted to do, which may or may not have changed. Would I know if Jedi Knight Bay and Jedi Knight Leia are related? Because they both have soul in their name, and I don't know if that's just a thing.
So you actually had the chance to read their files, and Leia's actually got 2 names, Leia and Soul, and it's spelled differently from how Nearsoul spells that part of his first name.
Great. In that case, I want to make sure that I followed through on filing a complaint.
Okay.
The action, the drama.
You have plenty of time.
Galaxy HR.
Yeah. And like, oh, sorry, yeah?
No, keep going.
Oh, it's like, I want to file a complaint about what happened, like, just his wildly, outrageously going and doing whatever the heck he wants, but also, can I see if, well, we know his reputation is that he does that a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, can I tell if he did something to be able to have that much leeway, or is it just that he got high enough rank and now they're chill with whatever he wants to do?
So your understanding of the situation is that his results allow him to behave the way that he does.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
All right.
I am having a really hard time finding how much it costs to add a level in ranged. I'm so sorry.
Is ranged light a class skill for you?
It's no a career skill, no.
Okay. Then it is whatever the rank that you are acquiring would be. So if you're moving from 0 to 1 times 5, which is 5, and because it's not a class skill for you, another 5, so 10 total.
Okay, and that's just to move 1 to yellow?
Yes, to move 1 to yellow, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry.
That's fine. We're all here to learn the rules. All right. So 7 o'clock rolls around, or 0700 rolls around. You find yourself and Jedi Soul on the shuttle. You disembark and hit hyperspace. I mean, this is the piloting experience that 99% of the galaxy is doing work in. This is very boring for you, is what I'm trying to tell you. And it is boring for you as you arrive in Dental orbit, because Dental is not necessarily a trade hub, but it is a long settled core world. So there are established traffic patterns. You have to deal with all of the space direction, and then once you are through onto planetary atmosphere, you're handed over to planetary control, and they bring you down into a commercial spaceport that apparently has some sort of agreement with the Jedi Order, and you find yourselves in the imaginatively named Dental City. By the way, I didn't make that up. That's actually what it's called.
Dental City.
Dental City. And you know that the Maxstar headquarters is relatively not far. You could walk, or you could hire a speeder. It's up to you. And Jedi Soul is not giving any guidance. You get the impression she's not really here to help as much as she is to observe.
Oh, great.
Right.
Not worrying at all.
Cool. I said we take the speeder.
Okay.
Seconded.
I think Nil's eyes would roll.
We got a babysitter.
No, I think she's more rolling her eyes that these lazy sons of bitches want to take the speeders.
Oh.
It seems I'm
Unless you
outvoted.
want to split up, Scooby-Doo style.
We can take the speeder. It is fine.
It's no problem to hail a for-hire land speeder, which takes you down into the commercial hub of Dental City. It's not outside of your experience. You know, it's not Coruscant, but, you know, they are still skyscrapers. You can kind of see the sky over them, but, you know, it's familiarly dark. And a little bit dank because Dental is a planet largely covered by rainforests.
More green than Coruscant.
I will say, and I feel like we all know this, I'm not good at talking, so my job here will be looking for weird things, danger, that stuff.
Is this a particularly bright environment?
No. So like, it is a city in the real sense, like New York City, where you can walk down the street and be in complete darkness because of how the buildings are so tall around you.
Definitely reminds me of home.
Quite the opposite for me.
Well, shall we?
We shall.
On
He's
to
just going to
Maxstar.
walk in. You're going to walk in the front door? Do you have...
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're here for an inspection. We are not trying to sneak in.
What are we here to inspect?
Their operations, make sure it is all by the book.
All
As I
right. So you
suspected it was not.
you walk into the lobby. It is a large, modern lobby. There are a whole bunch of holo lamps and holo displays. If any of you have ever been anywhere near a corporate headquarters before, it looks standard. It is as unimaginative and unabnormal as you've ever seen a corporate lobby be.
Boring and austere.
Mhm.
And there is a desk across the way. There are three sapients sitting behind the desk, as well as several droids who are busily moving about, probably doing paperwork. Who knows?
Okay, now it feels like home.
As you approach the desk, one of the sapients looks up and greets you. She says, "Oh, hello. How are you?"
We are well.
Who is the best speaker of us? I assume we know this.
Think Dar?
Probably me.
Yeah.
You got the most street smarts and the most connections.
So, we are well. We are here to perform an inspection.
Oh, well, welcome to Maxstar, first and foremost. Under which auspices are you conducting this inspection, Jedi?
We are here under the direct order of the Republic in order to investigate certain indiscrepancies that we have heard of contracts out of on the rim.
I see. Are you invoking emergency powers?
Oh no! Let's hope it doesn't come to that. We are here mainly as free and under the tutelage of our experienced master here. So I'm going to draw over to the
Speak to my manager card.
basically to our babysitter.
Leia gives you a look, but nods to. You're not quite sure what she is. She's some kind of near human, but you can't figure out what her actual species is.
We are
but
just
she
aware
nods, sir.
that Maxstar is branching out its connections in the Senate and in the Republic, so we just are here to make sure everything is by the books, especially given your recent issues.
I completely
rebellion.
understand. I've gone ahead and summoned one of our senior vice presidents, as this is not an inspection under the Emergency Act. They'll be with you shortly.
Thank you.
And she means that, because literally 2 minutes later, the turbo lift opens and a very flustered-looking human woman comes out and makes her way directly towards you and says, "All right, what is it then?"
What is
What-
your name? What do you do here? How are you today?
I apologize. You have dragged me out of a very important meeting. My name is Eliza Burr. I am the Senior Vice President of Corporate Relations for Maxstar.
We apologize for the intrusion.
I think Nil would like give him a look like, no, I'm not.
And what is the name of the person we're hunting here again? That's
Well, we're not really hunting anyone specific. We interrogated Darsum Valor, Valor, something like that. And he has shady contacts, and he's using that for Maxstar, and we want to know why Maxstar is being shady and suspicious. That's what we're here to investigate.
We recently spoke with one of your associates, a Valor, a Mr. Valor. He indicated that he has been using some personal contacts to further your business agenda, and we are curious as to what that entails.
Ballor. Oh, yes. Our executive, chief security officer.
Yes, that would be him.
But Mr. Ballard has been here for at least the last 3 months. He works on site most days.
Can you account for that?
Personally, no. I believe, however, that our system can account for his presence.
Could you calm him? Currently.
Certainly. And then she'll reach up and attach a very fancy-looking brooch, which apparently is also her comlink. And you'll hear her ask, apparently the Jedi are looking for Mr. Baylor? And the voice on the other end of the line goes, Darsum should be in his office.
Perhaps we could hold our meeting with him there. Would you be so kind as to direct us to his office, Miss Eliza?
Well, follow me, Jedi. I will get you up to the executive level and to his office door, and we can see if Mr. Baylor is indeed in.
Thank you. We are most appreciative of your cooperation.
And she'll, as politely as possible, while still indicating her frustration and having been dragged out of something that she considered important, lead you to an elevator that is clearly not the turbolift that is clearly not for normal person use. There's a little bit of silver and gold gilding, and you notice that she has to use a identity badge to open the door. You see yourselves in, and the turbolift goes up probably 200 floors, somewhere in the neighborhood. Definitely well above where most people in the corporation are working, but not quite to the top of the building, which is a little bit surprising, maybe. But as the doors let out, you can see that this is clearly an executive level, real plant for one thing. The lighting is actual, like, good lighting. There are windows that open up onto the street, interspaced with windows that are currently being used to display scenes from other planets or other places. And she leads you through a quiet corridor where there are probably a dozen offices. And you can see that the offices have nameplates that have names, and underneath their names are positions like senior detective, chief inspector for cargo operations. Like, these are all security personnel. So whatever this floor is for senior security personnel for some reason.
Can I hang back from the group a little bit and just note down all the names on all the doors that we go past?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. Taking your time.
Good call.
I had to decide whether Miss Burr would care or not, and I've decided that she doesn't.
Great.
She just wants us out of her hair as quickly as possible.
Yep.
And I will get you a list of those senior corporate security personnel.
Cool.
She brings you through the entire corridor into what is clearly the largest corner office on the floor, and she knocks 3 times on the frame, and there's a response from inside that says, "Yeah, come in."
All
They
right.
open the door and let you into the office. It's a large office, and currently standing in front of a panel of screens that you had to guess show closed circuit TV monitors for some sort of shipping facility, is a reasonably good-looking mid-40s human male who does not look like he just got his butt wiped by a bunch of Jedi. And he also does not look familiar to you.
Mm.
Sorry, so was Darsim Baylor the name we got from the interrogation, or the name of the person we interrogated?
It was the name that you received through the interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I misremembered that. My bad.
Which is fine. This is why you should be a little bit confused as you walk in and go, "Wait a minute, I don't recognize him."
They just incorporate right that ready. Jedi scribe. Where is the Jedi scribe?
And as you enter the room, he'll turn and look at all of you and go, "Well, I was not expecting Jedi today, but what can I do for you?"
Well,
Apologies, you have us at a bit of a loss. You are not who we were expecting.
You came looking for Darsim Baylor, right?
We did indeed.
You've found him. Eliza, thank you. I can take it from here. And she'll gladly leave the room as fast as possible.
You are not the Mr. Baylor we were expecting, nor the one we encountered a short time ago.
You encountered a Mr. Baylor?
Yes, or a person claiming to be you.
Interesting. Where was this?
I'll give him all the details of where we were and how we encountered his duplicate, let's say.
So you ran into someone claiming to be me, who was working as a mercenary on behalf of the Maxstar Corporation and putting down a rebellion in a colony on Talon.
I think what we are more concerned about is said rebellion on Talon. And really, as we are aware, Maxstar is expanding its connections in the Senate, and we as Jedi are sworn to protect the interests of the Republic, are curious and interested as to your practices. Hence the inspection today.
Well, I imagine you want to be sure that I was not on Talon when you were there. I will open the security audit records, and you can see that I was here every day for the last 6 months. I'm also willing to open the case file that we have for Talon. You can peruse whatever you want in there. And is there anything else that you can think of right now that you would need?
I would certainly like to see the case file you have on Talon, please.
So, to save you a lot of reading and
Yeah.
thinking about this, the case file on Talon basically summarizes the situation as it was conveyed to you. You have a bunch of colonists who agreed to settle the planet, and now that they have gone back and actually looked at the terms of the contract, realize that they're not going to be allowed to make enough money to get out of the contract.
So, do I notice any discrepancies between
What
the
is
two?
interesting is that there are a lot of references in the file to other files, including the colonial expenditures file for that colony.
I think Nil would just. Can I see these as well in the references?
I will have them opened up. Yeah, hang on a second. And he'll go back over to his desk and punch in a couple of things and pull a data pad out of his drawer and hand it to you. And that includes almost all of the pertinent files. One of the ones that was referenced in the original document that apparently he could not get you access to, or did not try to get you access to, were the senior executive summaries of the incidents at the colony.
Okay. As I'm reading, am I noticing anything? Not necessarily fishy, because obviously they're making their own reports, but like anything that would denote shadiness, like something isn't not the full story.
Okay. You can either roll skullduggery for me, or you can roll perception. And this is going to be against 3 purple.
All right, let's just do skullduggery for funsies.
All right. So, like, to be clear, skullduggery is like, you know, physical breaching of security and things like that. But it's also like secret codes and hiding things in plain sight and other such criminal adjacent activity. And sure enough, Nil, as you peruse through all this, it's not so much the missing senior executive summaries, which you assume are probably very boring, sterile versions of the actual information. There's a pattern of missing detail in these reports. Things that are mentioned in following reports that weren't mentioned in the previous reports, like the reports themselves have been edited in some way.
I think I am noticing some discrepancies between these reports and the other ones. Would you care to explain that?
I can't explain any discrepancies. I'm not aware of any discrepancies in these reports.
You are
Can-
the chief
can you show me-
security officer, are you not? Should you not be aware of any?
Of reporting discrepancies?
Well,
Normally,
that's
yes.
Do we know who signed off on them?
So the reports are signed by a variety of people. Most of them are not actually going to be here at the headquarters. Most of them are actually going to be much closer to Talon.
Okay.
like on the ships we saw.
Potentially, yes.
Mm.
So to be clear, you know, if you want to see if he is being a little bit squirrely here, you're gonna have to roll perception or vigilance against him.
Mm.
And you can all do
Yeah.
that, by the way, when Nil makes the accusation.
Oh, I will
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So that's going to be against 1 red, 2 purple.
Hmm.
Ooh.
The guy's a professional security officer.
Yeah, it's true. I did well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lorcan, do you want to participate?
Let's go ahead. What am I rolling again?
Either perception or vigilance against 1 red, 2 purple. I need to remember to actually think about like things that would visually impair you guys, even though most of you will just be like, it doesn't matter to me.
Hey.
But you're in a corporate
He's-
office, so this is like the most neutral environment possible.
He's sitting in a room full of smoke.
It's a cigar smoldering on the desk.
Suddenly you're on a space station, it's full of smoke.
Everybody has a hazer in the corner of their office.
Lorcan, you get distracted for a moment, and you realize that on those CCTVs, it looks like there was some sort of robbery going on in one of them.
Now we're talking.
But you can't get any read off the guy himself. He's a closed book to you. All right, so Nell, he's not lying, but he looks very uncomfortable with the idea that reports have been edited without his knowledge. Malin, he's panicking. You don't think he's lying, but you think that he's now concerned that somebody has set him up and that he's screwed.
Ah. Okay.
Could we
but-
perhaps?
Nil, mark 1 strain for me, and Malin, mark 1 strain for me as well. Oh, and Dar, 1 strain for me as well.
Unscathed.
I think Nil would just. So, who makes these? Who enforces these contracts? Hires the mercenaries, decides that a contract has been briefed, refuses to negotiate. Who makes those decisions?
I don't think I should keep talking to you. I think I should ask that you speak with the company's attorneys at this point.
This seems like an awful lot of negligence on your part. This seems like you are being set up. Perhaps if we could persuade you to speak with us further, we may be able to help alleviate any sort of negative connotations that are coming in.
Dar, are you trying coercion, charm, negotiation? You tell me.
I am trying to coerce him.
Can
Okay.
I assist with my influence?
Yeah, if you influence, you can definitely change his emotional attitude towards that. But in order to actually use it to directly affect the role, it has to be one that you make.
It has to be one that I make.
Right. But you can definitely affect his emotions. That's the base influence
Oh.
power.
Yeah.
So you can make him more nervous or make him more calm. Up to you. You have to roll your force die, the white one.
Okay. Yeah. I'd like to make him more trusting.
Okay. Then you would need a light side dip to come up. But yes.
Just one white.
Yep. Unless you got more than one. So
Oh.
you can't make him feel trusting.
Okay.
What you realize as you reach out and tap into the force that you can definitely crank his anxiety up. You can make him scared.
Yeah. I'm gonna crank up his anxiety. Yeah. I'm definitely
All
gonna
right.
do that.
So go ahead and record 1 conflict for me. But you've definitely cranked up his anxiety. Dar, back to you.
Okay.
Make me a coercion roll against 2 red, 1 purple. And you get 2 bonus. Sorry.
Oops.
Go ahead and just roll the bonus dice. I actually don't think you can overcome. That is a very interesting die result.
Yeah. I'm rolling.
He's gonna give you a hard look for a moment, and he's gonna say, "I really think you should speak with the company's attorneys at this point."
Oh, dice have canceled out. That's really funny. Well,
Is there anything else going on the screens behind him, or did he like shut those down?
He hasn't noticed that the screens are still going, as far as you can tell.
Is there anything that he should be paying attention to that I can point out to him?
Go ahead and make a perception or vigilance check against 2 purple.
Just 2 purple?
Just 2 purple.
Hey.
So something does stand out to you. There's clearly a reason that he had some of these recordings up, and it looks like there have been a string of robberies against Maxstar facilities. At least, you see a whole bunch of things that strike you as robberies.
Is that meant to be happening?
And Darsim will turn and look at the screens and go, No, we're not meant to be stolen from.
Oh, that's your facility?
Yes, we've had a string of... Seriously, you should go speak with the attorneys.
well,
Okay.
My question is, why are we more concerned than you are?
perhaps if you are having issues with these robberies, we could assist in exchange for information.
So... that sounds like negotiation to me, but you can choose whatever skill you want to use. Negotiation, charm, or coercion.
I think they are all the same for me. They are all the same for me, so it doesn't
Hey.
really matter.
All right.
So I'm gonna choose negotiation.
Now remember to add your force die to your roll,
Why am I adding my force die to my roll?
because you're going to use influence.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Are you still actively going to try and influence him or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
With my negotiation. And how many purple?
You are against 1 red, 2 purple.
Okay.
All right, that's 2 successes. But Nil, you have a major headache right now.
Oh.
You're going to take 1 strain, and you are going to function as if you're exhausted until you get a chance to rest.
Too much force power. I think she just, as she's like waiting, just kind of gently rub her temple.
So Darsim will look back over at the group and go, "You know what? I'm probably not going to find a better group of investigators than Jedi. All right, here's the deal. There are some internal disagreements in Maxstar right now, and there's a real possibility that some of those reports were altered without my knowledge or approval, without the knowledge or approval of anybody else in the executive staff, I would guess. And why they were, I couldn't tell you. To conceal the information, to confuse the situation, very difficult to say. I will tell you that yes, we did hire the mercenaries to put down the rebellion. That's standard practice.
So
Well-
that's separate from you being robbed, though, right? That's a different thing.
Yes.
Or are
me being
you
robbed-
expecting that's internal?
Well, I wouldn't rule it out. And he'll actually reach down into his desk and pull out another data slate and hand that one over to Malin.
How many of these do you have?
As many as I need, technically, but I keep a half dozen in my desk normally.
It's a lot of data pads.
So Malin, what you've got is a summary of the robberies. When they occurred, what was taken, and there are addendums for witness reports and summaries of reported activity. Go ahead and make me a perception or skullduggery check against 2 purple and 1 black.
We are certainly not rolling as well this time as we did last time.
You're squeaking by.
Although, if it's a perception check, I can remove a setback.
Okay.
So I'll do a perception check.
All right. You just have a list of data. This is not your forte. You are not a data analyst. But it does give you a couple places to start an investigation.
Okay.
So,
But we will certainly have a chat about your hiring of mercenaries for any rebellions, but that is neither here nor there. We'll get back to that. Malin, have you read anything useful, perhaps?
It's a lot. Good. Someone else want to look at it. Do we have analysts back on the ship? This is just a lot of information that I'm not passing.
We could probably get the Rangers to do so.
Great. Do you mind if we take this? You said you have like 6 of them, right?
sure. Yeah, take it.
Great. Okay.
Well, I don't think there's much we can do at this moment.
Okay. Here is my personal comm code. If you find anything, please reach out to me. If you find anything that is immediately actionable, just contact the security on site.
Oh, okay.
So you have his comm code.
And when we have successfully figured out your thieving issue, I should expect we will have quite a bit more access to your practices.
I understand with pro quo.
Good. Shall we? I need a nap.
Thank you so much for your cooperation.
Always a pleasure.
And Nil's gonna start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nil's head is throbbing a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a, I don't want to say it's a linear corridor because it's not. It's broken up, so like it's more aesthetically pleasing. But there's no way you're gonna get lost on your way to Eternal Light.
Mm-hmm. This is a lot of stuff.
I think perhaps we hold our conversations until we are back on the ship.
Oh, okay, sure.
And you make your way out of Maxstar. Everyone is polite, and you find yourselves back on the street of Dental City. You can walk, or you can have a speeder again. Up to you.
This time, Nil would like to go on a speeder.
Back for a nap as fast as possible.
Nil said, before I can do any clear thinking, I need a little rest, actually.
So you summon a speeder. It comes by. You are on your way back to your shuttle. At the, not the nearest starport, but the one that you were directed to. You debark the land speeder and head into the facility. And I need a perception or vigilance roll from all of you against 2 purple and 2 black. And yes, those of you that have visual acuity abilities can offset those 2 black dice.
Yeah.
You're just gonna start giving us 2 setbacks every time.
I have a reason for 2 this time.
Can I use sense danger to alleviate those?
Yes, you can.
Oh.
You said perception?
Yes, a perception or vigilance, either or.
And then I expect do I get an extra setback for being exhausted?
Yes.
So I have 2 setbacks instead of
You have
3.
3.
Well, but I have advanced.
And then you
dice.
remove one.
Yes, so you have 2 instead of 3. Yeah.
Okay. Against how many purple?
By the way, you don't have to roll if you don't want to notice anything.
No, I want to notice.
Against 2 purple. Okay. Nil, Dar, it's dark in there, which is really weird because it wasn't dark in there when you got there earlier today.
Mm.
And in fact, it looks like it's deliberately darker in there than it should be. Like someone has actually pulled sunshades or blocked off some of the exterior viewports. Malin, you know that this is a very, very obvious ambush.
Oh.
At least to you.
Okay.
So what I need you guys to do here is roll initiative.
Something is wrong.
And
Ambush!
and Borakin, I'm afraid you have to roll vigilance. You don't have a choice here. The rest of you can roll vigilance or cool, depending.
All right.
It's an ambush in the spaceport or in our ship?
But I don't.
In
I don't
the
have-
spaceport.
Okay, good.
No, initiative is straight roll. You don't have any difficulty dice either.
Oh, I just need to roll initiative.
Yeah.
The dice really like to help us with combat situations like that.
Noted.
Yeah.
But as soon as we get into any kind of negotiations, the dice are like, "Fuck you."
No.
No.
Done.
Sure enough, Malin, it's not long before you start to spot what look like robed figures in the darkness. But your immediate confusion is cleared up when they all pull out blasters and point them towards you. The first volley, of course, is completely ineffectual. You guys are fine. But now it is time for one of the Jedi to act.
Yes.
I feel like Malin, if she noticed first, would.
Yeah. If Malin noticed first, then she should probably go first.
Okay.
Are they the people that I've spotted? Do they bear any resemblance to the people on the CCTV?
No, they're robed.
They're
which
different
is,
folks. Okay. Well, they.
as far as you can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. I'm going to put the data slab away and quick draw a. I'm gonna quick draw my lightsaber.
Okay.
But and this is probably ill-advised, but I'm just gonna quick draw it and light it up and be like, "Yo, what is this? We don't want to fight right now."
Okay.
And try and just like voice them not to.
I guess that's coercion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So that's against 2 purple. Actually, no, that's against 1 red, 1 purple.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and give you a bonus die for using your lightsaber. So yeah, coercion
Yay!
against 1 red, 1 purple, with 1 bonus die.
Right. Oh no! I shouldn't talk to people.
What hands you got?
Really ever gone wrong?
The only answer, Malin, is confusingly laughter.
Damn it! All right. And then I guess I'm just gonna try and move, just so we split up, so we're not in a big huddle so much.
Okay.
So-
What do you want to do with your advantage?
Oh, I will pass it on to next person.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
So I am going to use my my force power to turn myself invisible.
All right.
So that's two white dice.
Yep. You have no problem turning yourself invisible.
Okay. They wished not to be seen. Two can play at this game. And then I'm going to advance into the darkness to try and get behind them.
Okay. So the rest of you just see Dar disappear again, and like you're aware that he was just there, and you could sense him in the force just a moment ago, and then he's gone.
Go off.
All right. So next Jedi.
I'm thinking because they laughed at Malin, I want to ignite my lightsaber and go.
All right. So you're going to use an action to draw your lightsaber and move forward. All right. So you're all advancing, although they can't tell that Dar is advancing.
Drawing
And that
attention.
leaves Nil. Nil, what are you doing?
I think she's just gonna fucking stars and pull out her lightsaber.
Right, I roll lightsaber, right?
What was that?
No, you can't get to them yet, Paul.
Gotcha.
You just move towards them.
How much space is there in this shuttle? Is there enough space for us to all fight?
You're not in the shuttle. You're in the landing facility.
Space. Okay, gotcha.
Corridors probably 60 meters in total.
Actually, instead of drawing my lightsaber, can I just fire off a shot with my blaster?
Yeah, you
I'd
can
like
draw
to
and
do
fire
that.
your blaster. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
You are rolling against, let's see, medium range, 3 purple.
Okay.
This is getting a little tense.
That doesn't look very good to me.
Nil, your blast forces one of them to duck, but you don't make contact.
Okay, that's it. That's my turn. I'm gonna kind of start. I'm gonna be moving with my group though.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So the figure that Nil forced to duck is going to go ahead and turn and return fire on Nil. Let's see. I am not going to upgrade that roll because I don't want to use up all of my dark side points on this encounter.
Let's go.
So there's a blaster bolt rings out, and Nil, you instinctively, duck out of the way, and it goes over your head. Now, the 2 people with lit lightsabers are going to get targeted. So, Borkin, you're up first. You easily deflect that attack. And Malin, if you were being shot at, which you suspect you were, the person who shot at you skipped some classes that day because it went very wide. And the next bolt that comes your way easily reflected away. Okay, and that brings us back to the Jedi.
Can we tell how many of them there are now?
Yes. Yeah, there were 4 distinct blaster reports.
Gotcha. Okay. Am I close enough to engage with one of them sneakily?
Yes, you can move and attack this round. Yeah.
Okay. I will do so. I will flip my lightsaber hilt into my hand and ignite it.
All right.
and I will try to strike the closest one from behind.
All right. It's dark. They can't see your lightsaber. That's one bonus. They can't see you at all. That's another bonus. And it's a lightsaber attack. Difficulty is 1 purple.
Okay.
Dar, you've killed this guy, so go ahead and describe how it happens.
Okay. So I appear behind him as if from nowhere. A quick downward strike. Just cut straight from his shoulder to his waist. Not necessarily bisecting him, but definitely it's a very clear, savage strike to bring him down.
Yeah. And down he goes, and not quite bisected, but that's not surgically repairable damage.
Again,
Next.
go off.
And I'll pass my advantages on.
Okay. How would you like to do that?
I am illuminating the area with my lightsaber now.
Okay. So 2 bonus to the next person who goes. Okay. Who wants those bonus dice?
I
No, you're the
go
only one
ahead.
without sight issues, right?
What was that?
No.
You don't-
Everybody except Dar
Oh.
can ignore the darkness.
I think Nil would see how easily that dude went down, and she just, and put away her blaster, pull out her lightsaber, and go to town.
Okay.
She said, "Oh, fuck these guys."
I am the darkness.
I assume I still have a setback though from.
Exhaustion, yes.
Gosh. Okay, so I am rolling my lightsaber, 1 purple, 2 blues, and a black.
Correct.
That's
Okay.
still alive.
1, 2, 1. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, you've taken this guy out, Nil.
Nice.
He's like
How it
down.
happened. Tell me how it happened.
So I think she's just gonna. So she goes, with one hand holsters her blaster, with the other pulls out her lightsaber, and just does like a low spin in, and takes out his fucking legs. Like it's not. She's not like bisecting them, but like his shins are fucking spurred.
Oh.
Reduced
right.
height.
Brutal. And that leaves me asking, what do you want to do with those advantage?
I'm gonna pass it on.
Okay. Passed on.
Spread the
Who's
love.
next?
You go.
Yeah. All right. How many we have left? That's 2. 2 down.
Two.
You got two that are still physically capable of standing.
All right. And are there any difference in them and their equipment? Any one more armed than the other?
They're both wearing robes, which do a pretty good job of concealing their equipment and how in shape they are.
All right. Well, I'm just going after the closest guy.
Okay.
And now, do I get bonus die for, I guess, the lighting?
You get bonus die because Nil passed you 2. You get
that's
2
right,
bonus
yeah.
dice. And you
That's right.
can ignore the darkness being Umberan, and your difficulty is 1 purple. Yeah.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Borican, as you move in, this guy has apparently seen enough. He turns and runs fully as you approach him with your lightsaber, yelling, "Blast this crap! I didn't get paid enough for this!" And he's running down the corridor away from you.
May the force
You
be
have
with
5 advantage, though. What do you want to do with those 5 advantage?
I want to pass them on.
You want to... Okay. So you can pass on 3 bonus dice to the next person, but you got to do something else with the other 2.
Can I crit? Or I gotta use all of that?
You got to hit the crit.
You can recover strain if you've taken any strain.
I haven't.
Hmm.
So, what else can I do with those bonus die?
You
I can
can
try to hit.
specify. You can specify somebody to get 1 bonus die.
Okay, so anybody going next?
I think I'm the
believe
other one left.
Malin's the only one left.
I'm handing off 3 to Maylin, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so with those 2 extra bonus die, can I just attack and use those?
You can pick to give Dar or Nil a bonus die on the
Alright.
next action.
Which one of you's up next? Who wants it?
I'll take it.
There we go.
All right, Malin.
Okay.
That's in teamwork.
Again, this is probably ill-advised, but I'm just gonna move up to the last person that's still here. And I want to use the lightsaber, not to attack them, but just to, like, sever their blaster in half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be like, seriously, stop!
All right. So to sunder a weapon, you still have to make an attack roll.
Yeah.
But what you're telling me is you don't want to do any damage, which is fine.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's still 1 purple, yeah?
It's still 1 purple. Yep.
I'm not as good with a lightsaber as a lot of other people.
But you've got 3 bonus dice here.
That is true. Alright. Hey!
Yeah. So Malin, you're gonna use those 2 advantage to sunder, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've cut through the front of the barrel. He can probably still use that weapon, but it's not looking good for him. And as you purposely chose to avoid doing any harm, the worst that happened to him is a little bit of splattered metal on his hand.
Yeah. Dude, seriously, we don't want to fight. Will you please stop?
Is it interrogation time?
There's only 1 dude, and he has a very damaged blaster. He's just gonna drop it, and he's gonna go, I didn't get paid enough for this. He's gonna try and run.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I shoot him in the leg?
I was gonna
So-
ask who wants to go next, but Nil, if you want to try and shoot
stop
him in the
him
leg,
from running?
sure. You gotta put away your lightsaber and pull out your blaster pistol again.
Can I do that?
Yep, it just means you won't have a chance to aim.
Even though I have quick draw?
Visible?
What's that?
Even though I have quick draw? Oh.
Yeah, so you still need to take an incidental to put the lightsaber away. And then you can use quick draw to pull out your blaster.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what am I rolling against?
Let's see. He is still within short range, so you're rolling against 2 purple. You have 1 setback from exhaustion and 1 setback because you're trying not to kill him. That's not really what blasters are for. Oh wait, does your blaster have a stun setting?
I
Light
mean, I got
blast
it from the
pistol.
Jedi Armory, so probably.
Okay, yeah, so it does have a stun setting. So no, you only take the 1 from being exhausted. So 2 purple, 1 setback.
Woo!
Nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and rule that you've stunned him. He's a flopping fish on the ground.
Nice.
Unless you wanted to use that triumph for something else.
No, that's exactly what I want.
All right, yeah.
I
So
want that bitch paralyzed.
Let's restrain him.
the final rogue figure goes down. He's flopping on the ground, and then that brings us out of this particular bit of combat. There's still another dude. He turned a corner. You can hear him running away.
Panting
I don't
as he
know.
goes.
Yeah.
I think as soon as she does that, Nil's gonna be like, I really need a fucking nap. And let someone else take charge of all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have anywhere that we could take someone onto our ship, or not really?
It's an assault shuttle. Like there's a pilot's cockpit with three seats, and then it's just sort of an open bay. There's
Okay, all right.
seating against the walls, and you have a refresher.
Okay.
It's not really meant for living.
Here's just as good
Alright.
as anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, we could just tie him up against one of the assault drop trooper chairs.
The good night, bad night routine.
How's our Jedi Master been doing in all of this?
Yeah.
How's Leia doing?
So interestingly enough, when the fighting started, Leia was clearly gone.
Bitch!
She disappeared. And as you are now looking for her, you can see her waiting by the entrance to your docking bay.
Ah.
So tired of these useless masters.
Hello there.
Are we wanting to take this one with us, or do you want to talk to him here?
I think we can talk to him here,
All right.
but we may not want to linger too long as his compatriot has escaped.
There. Can I frisk him while he's stunned? Does he have ID or any insignia or anything?
What are their uniforms like under the robes?
Yeah.
All right, I'll allow that. Anybody who's interested can make either a perception or skullduggery check against 2 purple. I would recommend not doing it in a dark tunnel, but that's just me.
Fair.
Yeah, we can pull him onto the shuttle.
Okay. And as you pull him past Leia, she'll say, "I'll take care of the guards."
Gods? Okay.
All right.
And as you are pulling through the door, you can see a bunch of city police running up. And Leia steps forward to handle them. You get him into the shuttle and situate him. You go ahead and give him a pretty thorough inspection. And Dar, you pull a couple of interesting things out. One is a contact plasti sheet. So this is something that used to be fairly common and has kind of fallen out of favor. It's a way to give someone a way to contact you without necessarily having to give them your comm code. It goes
It's a
through
burner.
It goes through a comm intermediary, and they can reach you. And typically they only work once or twice. So you have one of those, but you also have hidden in his right boot leg is another piece of flimsy plast, and this one actually mentions, "I've got a job. You're going to meet the guy. His name is King," which is clearly not his real name. It's in quotation marks, in fact. At the Rusty Minoc.
All right.
And it's signed Bilzerian.
What do you make of this? And I'm gonna hold up the plastic sheets.
Well, it's safe to assume that Berzerian is also not a euphemism. What is that word in basic?
Alias.
That one.
You should go lay down, Nil.
Yes, I think you're right. Nil's gonna go take a lie down.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of padded chairs around.
I don't really deal with shady stuff, so I'm not sure. But I mean, it seems shady, right?
Yes. There is. I don't believe there's anything above board here.
The burner pad essentially. Is
Mhm.
that is there any way for us to see if it's been contacted by someone, or is it like you would get a message and then it burns up?
Go ahead and give me a computers check against 3 purple.
No. I'm gonna break it.
You can do it.
I can't.
So you didn't really have a chance to break it.
Okay, good. Thank
But-
God.
But what I will tell you is that, Malin, you consider the possibility and go, nope, does not compute.
No,
You have no idea.
I know trees.
I mean, the only thing you can think of is that somebody who actually knows how this stuff works is probably somewhere on the Rambler.
Yeah.
I'm sure a ranger could facilitate the use or understanding of this.
Actually, that would be kind of handy. I mean, if Neil needs to take a nap anyways, if we can jump back to the Rambler, maybe we could get someone to look at the data slab as well. Because this is a lot of numbers that I need an analyst for.
Yeah.
Leia walks up the ramp and says, an excellent suggestion. We should go back to the Rambler.
With a prisoner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're allowed to take prisoners, right?
The locals don't even know he's on the ship.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Sounds like jurisdiction to me.
Onward.
All right, so, I mean, Borkin, this is very boring flying. You're in a very civilized part of space. Everything is either handled remotely or you are just moving to designated coordinates at a designated setting or a designated vector at a designated speed. Yeah. For somebody who's interested in piloting, this is the kind of stuff that would make you tear your hair out. You clear the system, you're into hyperspace, headed back towards the last known location of the Rambler, where you will either find the cruiser or a navigation buoy that will tell you where it went from there.
Gotcha.
But it's still there when you arrive in system. It's only been a little less than a day since you left. As you hail, you are given clearance aboard, land aboard. What do you want to do specifically? Are you going to go look for a sector ranger who specializes in slicing, or are you going to go look for some other resource?
Sorry, real quick, can I request a break before we
Oh,
get
yeah,
into-
sure. You know what? It is exactly the right time for a break. I was like, I don't want this combat to go too long, and then I totally forgot that I wanted to give you guys a break. So
I was like, I
let's
for
do that.
sure have to use the restroom.
Welcome back. Before we get back to our space wizards and their adventure, some quick announcements.
All right. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription. Prime Gaming subscribers support everyone on the show and get access to sub-only emotes and to a special subscriber-only channel on the Games Tavern Discord.
All right. So our Jedi have investigated Maxstar, and they found some discrepancies, and they generated a couple of leads. They have a new job, and then they ran into some problems on their way back. But now they're back on the Rambler, and they are trying to decide how they want to go about attacking their problems. Now, Malin, it occurred to you that maybe one of the sector rangers actually knows how to deal with one of these burner comm codes. So did you want to go find someone?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the sector rangers if you guys want to deal with that guy. I'm gonna try and find. I would think about going and talking to Ataka, but I want to try and talk to someone who doesn't immediately have connections with Maxstar in some way, if you know what I mean. Or like the conflicty stuff. So see if I can find someone that is probably not, doesn't have any investment in it and is just going to do the straight facts.
Okay. So at any given time, there are probably 50, maybe even 100 sector rangers on the Rambler who are not literally ship's crew. So all we got to do is track down a ranger and ask them, hey, is there anyone on board who knows anything about bouncing comm frequencies or comm burners? And chances are you will be pointed in the right direction.
Great.
That's exactly what happens when you go track down somebody.
Cool.
They point you towards a sector ranger, a young Duros woman named Namini. And she is apparently a comms expert when she is not trying to earn her capital ship piloting wings.
Ooh, nice. Hey, Namini, would you be able to look at this weird thing? I don't really... somebody just jumped us, and I don't know what it... they got told how to do... what to do through this. Can you tell who sent it?
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. And she'll take the flimsy plast and look it over and go, I'm going to go ahead and probe the frequencies here. It could actually burn the comm line, but I don't think it will. Give me a moment. She takes 6 or 7 minutes. And you can see that she's actually just looking through a couple of databases and running the comms through the resolution. She comes back and says, well, the good news is that the comm on the other end of this burner is still live. And it is located on Coruscant.
Oh. Okay. Do you know where on Coruscant?
Down to the sublevel, actually.
Great.
And she will actually go ahead and grab a piece of flimsy plastic and write it down on there. And she goes, this makes me feel like a spy. Really fun. And she hands it over.
Yeah. Slightly less fun. How are you with reports?
I've written some and I can read some. Are you looking for like an actual analysis?
Yeah, analysts, I guess.
Sure. And she'll look around. There's probably a good dozen other sector rangers in this room, which is one of the op centers for them. And she will point you to an older human male. Let's see. That's Bren. Bren is, to put it kindly, Bren is a repository of information. But he's also one of our lead analysts.
Okay. Great. Thanks. Hey, Bran.
And then he looks up at you, and there's a steaming cup of calf next to a cold cup of calf next to a bottle of water, and some crumbs from what you would assume is probably a protein bar. This is a guy who doesn't look like he moves very often. And he looks up at you and he goes, "Do I know you?"
No. Hi, I'm Malin. I'm one of the trainee Padawan people. Namini sent me here because you're a really good analyst and I need someone to look at a bunch of reports.
All right. I assume you've got them in digital format?
Yeah. I just hand him the whole data slab that we got.
He takes it and he gives you a look and he goes, "All right. When do you want the analysis back?"
Oh, I mean, as fast as you can get to it, really. There was a bunch of robberies, and I was just trying to kind of hoping we could work out, if not who the people were that were there, maybe what they were after at least, and that might give us a clue.
So Bren is paying attention to you, but at the same time, he's pulled out a connective wire and he's running it from his console into the data pad, and he's typed a couple of things, and as you finish up explaining everything, he just goes, "All right, here you go."
As in, you don't... Wait, you did it already?
Yep, sorted.
Wow.
Thanks. Okay, I just turn and go walk back to try and find everyone else, I guess.
I would have gone to take a nap.
Okay. Yep. Yes. You were nap oriented before, and yeah. All right. So Malin, you can't help yourself. Curiosity takes over. You take a look at the data pad, and sure enough, there is a report. He has found a link between the robberies. There is an executive summary that basically says, "Go here, dummy." Not in so few words, but essentially all right, I've finished the treasure hunt for you. Just go here.
Right.
But there's also a
X on
full
the map.
explanation of what happened.
Yeah. Where does it say to go? Where is the X?
It actually says that you are most likely to find the problem on Giju.
Oh.
So you would know that Giju is the last core world before you reach the Rim, and specifically it is the last core world before you reach what is this unnamed sector.
And the Herdlick are from Giju.
And the Herdlick are from Giju.
Herdlick are from Giju. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Do I... In the... Oh no, this is not gonna be so... I may have to go back and ask Bryn for help again because this is not in my wheelhouse, but is there any of the names that I wrote down from the executive floor, do any of them connect back to Giju or to Herglix at all?
As a matter of fact, there are 2 senior security officers at Maxstar who have links to Giju. One is a human male named Jackson Pierce, who is actually born on Giju and still has family on Giju. And also a Hurtlick, whose name is Blaston.
Cool. Okay. Great. Sweet. I take this back to the squad. Yeah.
If you read a
I
little
should
bit
talk to
deeper,
Bree more often.
yeah, right, yes, 100%. If you read a little bit deeper, you can see that Bren's analysis calls out Jackson Pierce as a likely collaborator with the thieves, and Blaston as having a significant criminal history, specifically as a fence.
Wait, what was the thing we learned about Jackson?
That he's likely tied to those robberies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. Yeah, that makes sense.
And yes, you should definitely visit your data analyst more.
Yes.
Just not necessarily during the show.
Yeah.
Bring him a treat.
Good to know. Alright, I'm taking a nap. Never mind.
Well, we did have like a day, right, to get out here?
The entire first half of the show took you about a full day. So you are probably at the end of your waking cycle.
What's the deal with the dude that we brought on board? Where has he gone?
Since you left no instructions, it's likely that Leia had him detained. There is a brig on board. But
Okay.
you genuinely don't know. You left no instructions. You just left him on the shuttle
Yeah.
for the Jedi Knight.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna check him, see if I can catch up with Dar and Borikin as to, like, are we dealing with him now, or are we leaving that for later, tomorrow?
Okay.
So what's the plan?
Let him think about what he's done.
Okay. So we're
And as you
resting
guys,
up?
as you guys are wandering the halls, there's a couple of Sector Rangers walking past, and one of them says, "Hey, did you hear what Nearsol did?" And the other one says, "Yeah, I heard he killed a guy, and he killed him specifically to make a point." I'm like, "Yeah, that dude is crazy."
Who's Nearsol?
Nearsol's Bay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Or as you've
Honestly, that
taken to
makes
calling
me
him
feel-
Salt Bay.
yes, Salt Bay. That makes me feel so relieved that somebody else is on the same wavelength about that.
I'm not there. I can't ask that question. Never mind.
I was gonna say, are we're leaving stuff for the next day? So should we?
Yeah, it
Great
sounded
stuff.
like Dar wanted to let him stew, and because it's going to drive Nil crazy, I'm going to go ahead and say you guys turn in. It is the next day. You're not on the schedule at this point, although you should probably check in with Leia if you're going to do anything.
Yeah, I know. To speed along check-in, I would definitely like to spend some time interrogating our prisoner.
All right.
Oh,
Leia
also,
is non-committal on the comm. She doesn't seem to care. She just wants to be kept apprised.
I should also mention the I got some information about the robbery stuff that all heads back towards Giju, but this like plastisheet thing that goes back to Coruscant. So they're like two different things. Like the person that hired these guys to jump us might be a different thing than the Giju thing.
Not necessarily, but it is interesting that it points in two different directions.
Yeah. Well, let's go ask, I guess.
Yeah.
So like the ship's brig is nice. It is a very nice brig for being on a relatively modest cruiser. There are probably a dozen separate force cages, and currently only 4 or 5 of them are occupied. It looks like the Rangers who run the brig tend to separate people by the likelihood of them doing violence to each other. So currently your prisoner is alone in a force cage.
Is he still robed? Have we identified him?
So Dar did pull his robes off of him to inspect his person and find those things. I mean, he's wearing like normal kick around worker gear. Nothing jumps out at you about the clothes that he has on. I mean, they're cheap. That's about all you can say about him.
I think Nell would like crouch in front of the cage and just sigh and just be like, "You are going to make this easy, right?" Not even like in an intimidation way necessarily, just like in a, we're gonna get something one way or another. Just make this simple on all of us.
The kid's gonna look up and he'll meet Nil's eyes, but he doesn't respond.
What's he look like currently? Like emotion-wise?
When you walked in, I mean, he was very closed down. His body language said, "I'm in danger." And honestly, even now that you've crouched down and addressed him, it's no different. He's a trapped animal, really.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you do illegal shit.
I mean,
I'm gonna ask now. Do you want to try charm? You said you don't want to do coercion, but do you want to try charm or negotiation?
Let's do charm.
Okay.
Like one bad bitch to another.
You're up against 2 purple, and because he is sitting in a force cage right now, you have 1 bonus die.
I believe it's 2 green. Let me just make sure. Yeah.
I mean, everything about him is closed down, and you get the impression that whatever is going through his head, he's made the decision he shouldn't say anything. At least until, there's an attorney present.
Is that a thing? Do prisoners have Miranda rights here?
They
and
do
rights
not.
to attorneys?
So the Republic does say that you have a right to due process, and there's sort of an implied right to an attorney. But they don't have Miranda rights.
Sorry, real quick. I assume I'm back to 0 strain, yeah?
Yes, after resting, you can drop your strain to 0. That
Lawyers
goes
are
for
on a
everybody.
spin-off
Oh,
show.
how did I get...
Galactic Law.
What the hell?
Yes, our spin-off show, Galactic Law, where you can follow lawyers in Star Wars.
That's so weird. Okay. Yeah. How old does this guy look? Is he like a kid? Is he like...
He's a kid.
Like how old?
You would guess somewhere between 15 and 20. I mean, again, you're not a human, so like you're only guessing. But physiologically, you're probably in the ballpark.
What are you gaining from this? Money, I presume, yes?
So the kid looks up again, and all he does is nod.
Okay.
Yep. We got paid. All right.
And I suppose I can make an assumption that you, given your age, your family are not well off.
Yeah. Not well off is a really nice way to put it, lady.
So,
Have you already been paid?
When you ask that question, you can see that he has to think about it for a moment. And he goes, I was supposed to be, but I don't know.
Well, you're certainly not going to get paid by your employer now. You failed in your job. Was your job to kill us or to capture us?
He looks a little bit angry when you point out that he's probably not going to get paid now.
It's fucking true. Sorry, kid.
Yeah.
You
And
fucked up.
all I was going to say is, no, we got paid to take some shots at you to warn you off.
Okay.
Warn us off of what?
I don't know. They just told us to make you feel unwelcome on dental. Where am I, by the way?
On the ship. Don't worry. I
can
see.
we? I wonder if we can try to appeal to him. Maybe he's hungry, or maybe we can offer him to sweeten the deal better than what we can get for information.
The chances are he was fed. I mean, you guys, you're not running a labor camp or anything.
I mean, it was only been a night. I mean, that's legit
Yeah.
one night. Maybe he didn't get in.
But I mean, if you want to offer him, like, hey, I got a galaxy bar here.
Galaxy bar. I mean, I'd be willing to suggest we find out, like, how much were you getting paid? See if we can, if it's worth it. We have the credits. We might be more willing to make a deal rather than.
All right. So the kid is paying attention to you now, Borikin, since you've offered money and credit. Credit's what he's really interested in, and that's obvious to everybody who's watching this interaction. But I mean, if you want to convince him to do something for you, you're going to have to negotiate.
All right.
Again, because he's sitting in a force cage right now, you have one bonus die on this roll. It is against 2 purple difficulty.
So would that be negotiation, right?
Yep, straight up negotiation. You can try other options, but you offered money, so you're negotiating.
And that was against. I got 2 bonus dice, and against what again?
2 purple.
All right.
All right. 500 credit, and I'll tell you a little bit more about King.
$500 credits. That is quite a lot for someone in your position. 500 credits is not nothing. Could set your family up for quite some time.
Don't know if we can agree to that, considering you didn't tell us how much you were getting paid. Got to be relative.
He's going to give you a look and say, I could tell you any number, and you wouldn't know. 500 credit is the fair rate.
You know we're Jedi, right?
Right. And you're asking me questions. You do know I'm nobody, right?
I kind of like this kid.
Do you still
Can
have...
I? So, when he says that he'll tell us about King, is there a way that I could check, like, give like vigilance or perception or something, whether or not he actually knows anything more than what we already have?
Oh, 100%. You can roll perception or vigilance to see if you think he's lying.
Yeah.
Can I roll
Yeah.
skullduggery?
Yes, you can also roll skullduggery. You're up against 2 purple. You guys have 1 bonus die because he's sitting in a force cage.
Can I roll for this as well?
Yes,
Oh shit!
you miss 1 purple die.
Oh, 2 purple. Sorry.
Or nil, sorry.
Okay.
No difference. Okay. As far as Malin and Nil can tell, he's not lying. And during your interaction, Borkin, you didn't get the impression that this kid is throwing dust your way. There's no bravado here. Like, he just realized that he got screwed, and all he wants to do is deliver those credits for his family.
So my question was, I think the question was more, do we think he actually knows
Right.
anything?
He definitely knows King well enough to tell you some things. It's clear that he has at least met the guy.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I feel like this is a win-win situation for you because the best the information, you get your money that you weren't going to get before, which is more than what you were getting, and you also get to take revenge on whoever was going to screw you in the first place.
And you get to go back home to your family.
Safe.
So 500 credit.
300.
450.
No.
Straight no.
Just straight up no.
You are not
400?
really in the position for negotiation. It is 300. That was not the question.
All right, he looks annoyed. Yeah, fine, 300. And whatever is happening here, not on my record.
Wait, what? Oh, not like his felony record.
Right, yeah.
Shit.
Sure.
Yes, fine. I can do that.
Again, I like this kid.
All right. So, first thing you gotta know is King is not a human.
Is he
He's
a
a herdlick.
Yeah! That is 100% in character.
Second thing you gotta know is that King keeps a very tight schedule. He arrived, he had exactly as much time as he said he had for us, and even though the conversation was still going, he left. Third thing you gotta know is that King gambles. He actually bet us that we wouldn't be able to get you guys to back off.
He bet against his own request.
Yeah,
So in theory, you would
Very good
have
game.
owed him money.
well, I didn't take his bet, so I was getting paid either way.
Huh.
What a strange man.
Nell, you
How do
remember
you-
that herdlicks do have a culture that surrounds negotiation, bargaining, and gambling. That's part of why aggressive negotiations are kind of their thing.
How did he get in touch with you?
What was that, Borkin?
I said we're pretty exceptional at that.
Yeah.
He'll look at Malin and go, one of the guys calmed him. He set up a meeting location, time, place. We were there. He was there exactly on time. And he left exactly when he said he was going to.
Apologies. One of your people calmed him.
And he's going to stop and he's going to give you a look. He's going to go, so I noticed that you pulled something out of my boot. I assume that you read that piece of flimsy plast?
Yeah.
Of course.
So you can clearly see that one of our friends set us up with this king.
I
Right.
had assumed that King had contacted him.
No, King contacted Bilzerian. Bilzerian set us up.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay. So but it was King that reached out first to
Mhm.
Bizarre. You made that very confusing. Maybe you should learn how to tell stories. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
He's just gonna give you a look. It's like it was literally all there, written down. on flimsy plast.
So Bizarrian is your boss.
No,
Your middleman.
Not even that so much. He's a guy from the neighborhood who gets work.
How does he know King?
You would have to ask him.
Sounds like fun.
And where can we find this Bazarian?
He's gonna give you a look and go, you got a data pad, flimsy class, something like that? Easier if I write it down, because clearly you're gonna mix it up.
Sure. Can I head the back of a piece of flimsy
We
glass or
can.
something?
I think Nil would snatch it and just. You can tell us, and we will write to it.
Fine. Dental City, 3rd Sector, 4th Ward, 2nd Street, 2nd Sector of 2nd Street. That's his mom's place.
Bazarian's mother.
Yeah. By the way, if you look him up on city records, wherever it says he lives, you're just gonna run into a trap. Don't go there.
Okay.
That I would like to check city records though to see what it does say.
Sure. It's a computer's roll against 1 purple.
Can I?
Can you what?
Can I do another vigilance check to tell if the address that he just gave us is a trap?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Great.
Difficulty is 2 purple. Again, you have a 1
Oh.
bonus die.
Oh no. Not my purple.
Yeah,
I only
yeah,
had 1
Nil.
purple.
No, city records actually have an address for it's actually a list of Bilzerian, multiple individuals with that name, but there are a couple of addresses, all of which look to be in neighborhoods that are the right kind of sketchy for the characters that would hang out with this guy.
But none of which are the ones we got.
None of which are match the one that you got. Balin, the kid seems defeated.
Okay.
Like, clearly, he's just hoping that you guys are actually going to pay him the credits and let him off. Because, yeah, no, he's facing pretty serious charges, and not delivering credits for the family, of course, is never good.
Yeah.
Yeah, attacking Jedi is not a nothing crime.
No.
Yeah.
You don't know that he knew that you were a Jedi ahead of time.
No, for sure. That was actually a thing I was gonna ask. Did they, like, give you a description, or did they just say attack the Jedi?
They gave us the hangar bay number and said that 4 or 5 individuals would be coming through, and that we should make sure they got the impression they were no longer welcome on Dental.
Okay. Interesting.
Sounds like an exceptional lack of care for the safety of their people.
They said 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
In retrospect, was the price sufficient, considering?
And he's going to look over at Borkin and go, it's never worth smoke from Jedi. Doesn't matter how high the price is.
That is
And then he
probably
pauses.
something you should keep in mind.
And he gives a look to everybody there and he goes, that's why I tried to run away.
Unfortunately, you are slower than your compatriot.
Yeah.
But you are the compatriot getting paid, so perhaps you won in the end anyway.
Yeah, the Force is really looking out for me.
More better than the friend who got his shins blasted.
Oh.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, well, I think this is enough to go on, don't you?
Yeah.
We should perhaps inform Master Leia about our intentions with this one.
Yeah.
You can just tell the Rangers.
Yeah. Is it okay? I don't know if I'm being too paranoid about this, but did 405, right? Means that they might have known that the Knight Leia was going to come with us, which was like a last minute decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone told them from before we got here?
Or they were informed. When did you get this mission?
Day before yesterday.
Oh,
So before we got there. No.
before we
The day
even
we
got
got
to
there.
the planet.
Yeah.
He just looks at you with visible confusion because he has no idea what your schedule actually was.
Yeah.
That is unnerving.
Yeah.
Perhaps we keep what we have learned mostly to ourselves. I sense a rat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, hold on. Can I bring up, is there a way to get a picture of Blaston, the executive from Maxstar?
Yeah. So he probably doesn't have any official photos on the corporate net site, but
Mhm.
chances are pretty high you can find something on the HoloNet of him.
I'm just gonna get a rough picture and just hold it up in front of the cell. Be like, is that King?
And he looks at it and goes like, I think the pod marks are slightly different. So like, same pod, different individual.
Same pod?
Same family.
Oh, I do
Oh,
not know much about Herglick culture.
Huh. Okay, good to know. Thanks.
I think we have some doppelgangers.
I'm gonna start looking up his family records.
While
Okay.
they're doing that, can I go make plans for the release of... Did we get his name?
You never asked for it.
Can I, before I do that, can I just be...
He got
Actually-
processed by the Rangers, so it's
Yeah.
on file, but you've never asked him his name. Very
I don't want to
unpersonal.
personal good attention.
Neil's not a personal person. Yeah, I don't think she'd ask. I think she'd just go and request release forms.
I feel
Yeah.
bad that I didn't ask him.
Yeah, it's okay. When you get the release forms, he has a name.
What is it?
It's Ben Hollow.
Great.
I was hoping
Hollow
it was
is
gonna be-
spelled
I was hoping
like
it was just
empty.
going to be this big circular. What's his name? It's on the form. Well, what's it say on the form? His name.
Who's on first?
Yeah, exactly.
As much fun as that would be, it would waste so much time. Yeah, no, it's Ben Hollow. Hollow as in empty.
Okay, yeah.
I assume I don't have trouble requesting forms.
No, the Rangers just look at you and go like, "All right, yeah, sure, here, just sign the release."
Great.
We're the ones that brought him in. I guess we can leave.
Not press charges, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, so like you guys are like super cops, and they're cops, and they legitimately don't care if you want to release somebody. Like it's none of their business. You're like the FBI relative to them.
Yeah, I do.
You got jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they begin processing Mr. Hollow's release, and the rest of you have time. Oh, Malin, you wanted to do some research. I need a
Yeah.
computer's roll against 1 purple.
Fuck.
And because you already know so much about this pod, you get 1 bonus die.
I'm probably gonna have to go talk to Brad, but let's find out. Yep. Brad.
So you go back to that op center, and he's in the same seat, and the only thing that's different is that like his calf cups have changed. Everything looks the same.
Yeah. Hi, real quick thing. Can you find the family record for this dude?
He just holds his hand out.
Thanks.
He's like, you might want to go get some coffee, Kef. This is going to take... Oh, never mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you.
Does that family like live on Dental, or do they live on Coruscant or elsewhere?
So, like most hurlipods, they originate on Giju. It looks like Blaston was fairly successful in his prior business and successfully transitioned from being on the less than licit side to the completely legit side of business, and worked his way up the corporate ladder. He's basically a senior stock security guy at Maxstar now. So, used to be the guy who ran the illicit warehouse. Now he's the guy who runs the totally legal warehouse security.
Does he have any siblings or parents?
It's got a big pod. Yeah. Over 12 people in his pod. His parents are retired. Both live on Giju.
Okay. I guess before Ben gets processed out fully, I'll see if I can do like a photo lineup of relatives that I can get if any of them strike him as obvious, but obviously it might be tricky for him to notice who's who.
So Ben takes a look at the images you got and he goes, no. He goes, might be him. And that is Blaston's brother, who goes by the name of... Not King. That would be super convenient, wouldn't it?
I didn't read that part. Whoops.
It's Elahu. E-L-A-H-U.
E-L-A-H-U. Okay. Thanks. This is really helpful, and it's going to help a lot of people.
You guys gave me 300 credits. I'm happy. Plus, I'm not in jail.
Yeah, that's true. Does Elahu live on Dental?
No, Elahu lives on Giju, at least according to the records that you pulled up. Or
Okay.
rather, Bren.
All right.
Bren pulled up.
Cool. I have information! Just try and find the group at some point.
Hey, so you all live on the same section of the ship when you're on ship, which is on a normal ship would be like NCO quarters. So like you have an individual room, but it's tiny. And you have a shared common space.
Not quite as good. Shared bathrooms or something. Right.
Yeah, no, you have common bathroom, common space, tiny bedrooms.
So I think King might be this guy, but we can hold on to that and maybe see if Bilzarian picks out the same person or something if we want to still go and talk to him. Otherwise, Elahu lives on Giju rather than Dental, so it depends where we want to go.
How far away is Giju?
From where you are, I think it's 2 hops from where you are. 2 or 3 hops from where you are. So maybe 8 hours. It's actually closer than Dental.
Oh,
But, you know,
I say Giju.
time and space are relative.
you think Giju first?
I think that's what Dar pitched, yeah?
Do you have a reasoning as to why?
It just feels right.
Any other
We do know that's
objections?
where all the robbery stuff was kind of linking back to.
And I don't want to tip. We should go into Giju to talk to Allahu without letting him know that we know about anything regarding King, just in case.
Okay.
And if we go to Bazarian first, flying in hot with questions about King, he will of course let King know.
But I'll just put this away.
What pretense are we going to Allahu under?
Maybe investigating his brother? Because we think somebody framed Baylor, right? It makes sense for someone else
Yes.
within the country. I mean, the company.
Laston.
His brother is
Yeah.
Blaston. Baylor is the senior chief of security for Mexar.
Yeah. So, and we think that the reports got changed by someone, so maybe we're investigating Blaston for framing Baylor, and we're going to go talk to Allahu that maybe Blaston's been doing some shady stuff again.
And there's also Jackson or Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Jackson,
That's what I thought.
yes.
There's also Jackson. Oh, there are so many people. I don't like any of them.
So many leads.
Well, you are right. They all point to Giju, so I say onward to Giju.
Yeah.
All right. Having made your decision, you take your time, rest up, and find yourself back on the shuttle, heading to Giju. Borican, there's an interesting note in the Astro records that you need to be cautious with Giju control. Otherwise, you will find yourself on and it's listed in there as a quote-unquote special approach. And sure enough, as you transition back into Giju space, the Giju control comes on and says, welcome to Giju. Are you here for fun, excitement, or are you boring?
A little bored at this point.
And it says, too bad. And it goes into the normal control routine. So,
Neil said, what would they have done if we said fun? No theories? Okay.
I don't know if
think
maybe
we should have said
gamble. I don't know.
so Paul, you can see that there's 4 distinct traffic streams that are being handled. There is the controlled inward route, the controlled outward route, and then there is a sort of combined stream, one going in, one going out, and they are moving much faster, and occasionally there are some very close calls, and as you are coming into Giju, you actually do witness a ship-to-ship strike in the less controlled traffic stream.
Ooh.
Oh.
No,
So-
I think that was supposed to be the fun.
Yeah. No, you suspect that that's what fun is for Giju control.
Fun for someone, apparently.
Ooh.
So yeah, you make it down to one of the space stations. The capital of Giju is actually Pod City. A very uncreative name once you understand how Hergliks form bonds. It just means where everybody comes together, essentially. It is a very large city. So, like, historically, the Herglik controlled a very large trade empire. And Giju was the center of all of that activity. And Pod City is huge and sprawling. Now, all of you have been to Coruscant, so you know what a truly ridiculously planetary scale city looks like. Giju is not like that. There are huge swaths of the planet that are just open ocean. But most of the land masses are covered with urbanized area.
In that, like, family breakdown, did we get any address? I guess we know the Ilahu lives on Giju, but did we get like a decent street address?
You have what the sector rangers would call last known, which is the last time that Ilahu had any interaction with the government, which was probably paying taxes. That was the address that he provided.
Okay. I guess let's take a speeder.
I would recommend a speeder. Yeah, 100%. You don't really want to walk all the way through Pod City.
How dangerous is this speeder about to be?
Nil, I am glad you asked that question because as the speeder comes up, you can see that there are a lot of dents and dings on this one.
Oh boy.
The droid pilot welcomes you as you step into it, and he asks, "Hello, are you ready to gamble?"
Not
Oh,
with
no.
our
I want
lives.
my
is there-
taxi to say.
Oh no.
Is there a safe option for this ride as well? A
And the
bombing option, rather.
droid actually turns his head around and looks back at you, goes, "Oh, I apologize. I forgot that Jedi are boring."
Yes, we are.
He's like, "Right, safe piloting option selected. You will arrive at your destination in 42 minutes."
Fantastic, thank you. Out of curiosity, what would the time have been to arrive at our destination in the fun option?
Calculating, 23 minutes.
Boring option, please.
Yeah.
So, similar to the space lane traffic that came in, you can see that Giju has an interesting take on traffic in Pod City. There's a controlled highway, and there are off-spurs from the highway that are all controlled. And then there is a chaotic,
Autobahn.
what the Herglik call their freeway, and they mean that in the very literal sense. You are allowed to drive however you want, in whatever direction you want, on the freeway. And
I'm so glad we
yes.
did that option.
And you do notice the freeways all actually divert out onto the controlled side streets. So there is like some like actual level of sanity in Herglik society. But it is permeated with these options to take risks to either get ahead or accomplish something faster. And as you are driving along in the sedate, controlled traffic lanes, you can see, that those risks do occasionally come with drawbacks. There are handfuls of speeder accidents visible on the more chaotic freeway, and yeah. However, on the side streets, everything is tame.
Thank you for the raid! Hello!
Hey!
Forest of Love!
Lore.
Or,
Lord,
Forest of
we're
Lore!
feeling the love.
We're feeling the love
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for rating. And so yeah, it is a boring ride, and I didn't mean super boring. It's clear that the droid is driving slower than he has to.
now. Dick.
That's actually dangerous.
Less
but
dangerous
you
than the
arrive.
freeway.
You arrive at your destination safely and find yourself standing in front of what you could politely call a slum.
Oh.
This is an older tenement. It has not been painted any time in recent history based on the number of water stains on the exterior surface. The people that live here are, well, the Herdlick would call them down on the block.
Sorry, my brain. We're here to see Allahu.
Yes.
Slash king. Who we think is king. But this is a little surprising. All right.
Now you noticed coming over that it had not been raining, but as you enter this tenement, there's water dripping down from above.
Do we know that to be a Herdlick thing? No.
As far as you know, Herdlick are fairly normal. They like it wet, but like they don't like keep their internal buildings damp or anything.
I don't think I want to know what that is. Yeah, I would also pull up my hood. I don't need to know.
So, Malin, you figure out how the tenement is organized, and you're able to get to the unit that Elahu reported as his residence.
Mhm.
Are you gonna ring the bell or check with the
I am going to
neighbors?
step out of the way for someone who is better to talking to ring the bell.
All right.
Every
What do
time I
all of you
talk,
wanna do?
we get a despair.
Direct approach? Do you want to take a look around? Do you want to talk to the neighbors?
I'd like to do like a circuit around the neighborhood, just
Okay.
like see if there's just anything of note.
Sure. Give me a perception or skullduggery roll against 2 purple. You have ability to ignore the setback that I would normally give. And you have 1 bonus die here because you actually know how to do this.
Pretty
Nice.
good. Not a terrible roll.
Nil, as you walk over on the other side of the tenement corridor, you turn and look back and figure out what unit belongs to Elahu, and you can see that there are wires running from that window into the neighboring unit, and there are no lights in that unit.
So I see the apartment we know as Allahu's, and there's in the one next to them, there's wires running.
Yep, wires run into that unit from his unit.
Okay, and no lights on in either of them, or just in the neighboring unit.
Just in the one that you think is Ellahu's. The neighboring unit has lights on.
Okay. And do I notice anything else?
So this tenement is in bad repair, but as you are actually looking at it, you realize that the underlying facility is fine. I mean, you know, you would expect more water damage based on the amount of water that comes down through it, but it looks okay. You'd also expect a lot more staining than is present. So like your first initial impression from the exterior that this hasn't been a well-maintained unit has changed. Somebody's been doing very good maintenance on the interior, considering the conditions that are being inflicted upon it. So you have some suspicions that somebody is trying to fool government inspectors.
Okay, I'm gonna take this information back to my group.
Oh. When you
Alright.
say wires, do you mean like electric wires or like trap wires?
Oh, that's a good question. I assumed
Uh,
electrical wires.
so, Nil, what's your computer skill
A number?
or
Two.
intelligence? Okay. from where you were, you couldn't tell the difference between whether it was electrical cabling or like actual like wires that are being used to keep tension on a trap or something.
Okay, I would convey that as well.
Can I check the door, considering we know that he associates with a person who likes to use traps?
Yeah. No, one thing I will mention is that it's clear that the other units around Ilahu's are also occupied. So.
I think Noel just. There, Javada. You are good at talking to people. Go talk to neighbors.
Okay.
Just full 180.
Dar's just knocking down doors. Dar, give me a charm check against 2 purple.
Okay.
So you do a quick circuit of the neighbors. They're talkative. They're happy to talk about anything except for, their own neighbors. So, recommendations for good places to eat, where you can get the best Coruscant style poutine, any information you want, except none of them are willing to talk about their neighbors.
Time and again, we keep finding ourselves on the shorter end of negotiations.
I think Noah just to the group be like, I think we should approach the door that is his official address first. Let them think we do not know about it.
And what is our purpose here? What will we tell him that we are doing?
That we are... What is
Originally,
that?
you said you were going to be investigating Bloodstone.
Yeah, investigating his brother.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should say we are here as emissaries from... Sorry, did we know that... Blaston works for Maxar,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Then yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess
Someone
we will go up and knock on the door then.
Okay. So to be clear, you're knocking on the door that is the one that he gives to the government. That address.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We're walking into traffic first.
So you knock on the door, and the unit after about a minute comes to life, and you can see on the little video screen a Herglick man who actually looks pretty close to the picture that you pulled, pops up and he says, "Yeah, what do you want? Who are you?"
Hello. We are investigators. We are here investigating your brother, it would seem.
Oh yeah? What's pressed on this time?
We believe he may be connected to a larger criminal syndicate than previous reports may indicate.
So the Herglick makes a laughing noise, and it's a little bit of a whistle because it comes out of his blowhole. And he says, "Yeah, that's really interesting, guys. Look, I really don't want to talk about any of my family, if it's okay."
Can I, when they're talking, can I try to tell if the voice is actually coming from the other room? Like I know it's coming out of the comm link, but can I see if I can hear?
Give me a perception check against 3 purple. But because you know that he's probably not in that unit, you get 1 bonus die.
All right. I'm gonna flip a light side point because it's
Okay.
not.
Are you-
I'm not super great at perception. Okay. Hey!
Malin, you stretch your ears, and you can tell that the Herglick is not in the unit in front of you.
Mhm.
You can't be certain that he's in the other unit next to you, but you know he's
Mhm.
not in the one that you've approached.
Okay.
I think Nil will just. Well, if you happen to talk to Blaston, please let him know the Jedi would like to speak with him.
Another laugh. Yeah, all right, I'll let him know that the Jedi are looking for him. Never heard that one before.
Oh, is this a common thing for him?
Well, I mean, Blaston got a corporate job about 6 years ago. Haven't had any law enforcement rolling around looking for him since then. But yeah, he used to be a favorite. I think he was a CI actually.
What? Do I know what a CI is?
Yeah, a confidential informant.
Yeah.
Plot thicken.
Do I know what that is?
So it's somebody that law enforcement organizations will pay information bounties to, but they are almost always criminals themselves, and that's how they have access to get information about other criminals to help law enforcement investigations. Kind of like what you guys just did with Ben Hollow.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It is not possible that he is still doing that, is it?
I mean, another laugh comes out of the herd on the other side. Goes, look, I can't tell you either way. I can't imagine he would give up a free source of money though.
As a confidential informant.
Yes, but also corporate job.
Those things are not always mutually exclusive.
Sure, Toots.
Don't talk to me that way.
And he's just gonna end the conversation. You see the hologram wink out.
I'm gonna step over to the other door that Neil pointed out and just knock on it.
I'm gonna say that you don't get a reaction immediately. But after a few seconds, you can hear some scraping noises, and then you hear, a large sapient being's footsteps approach the door, and you hear the click from the other side of the door as you suspect someone has opened the peephole to look through. And then you hear, "Go away."
Same voice, I imagine.
Same voice.
Does he sound like he's trying to hide that it's the same voice, or is he just being blatant?
So, I'm not doing him credit. This is a very deep basso voice, like Patrick Warburton. So, even him trying to hide it sounds like him.
But is he trying to hide it? Is my question.
Yeah. He's tried to go up an octave, but it's still ridiculously deep.
Okay, so he doesn't want us to necessarily know it's him, but he's not good at
Right.
pretending he's
Very
not.
hard to hide it.
It's very hard. Yeah, it's very distinct. Yeah.
I think Nil would just. Would you like to share some information about your neighbor next door?
Yes.
Look, I don't even know who you people are.
We're Jedi.
Maybe just leave me alone. Yeah.
Oh, we're not
that
here
doesn't-
for you. It's just about your neighbor.
Have you seen any suspicious people around?
Just people claiming to be Jedi.
We're here to preach the good news about the
I hold up my lightsaber hilt.
So I need to remind you, that is not the same symbol of office as it
That's
would
true,
be in
yeah,
the
yeah.
future. There are a lot of wealthy people that also carry lightsabers.
Would it
around.
have any Jedi Order insignia on it at all? Or not
Nope.
really? Okay.
The
That's fine.
Jedi are not into brand merchandising.
Fair.
Are you implying that the Jedi are the suspicious people?
No, I'm implying the people claiming to be the Jedi are the suspicious people.
Do we have any official form of documentation? Like
We don't need no stinking badges.
So
puts
you
black
do
tape over my number?
you do have a Republic ID, and the Republic ID would identify you as a member of the Jedi Order.
No, we'll just
Could we just
hold hers
let
up
them know
to
to
the-
open up, or we can just use our key?
That's also true.
All right. Or can roll coercion for me against 2 purple, 1 red, and you get 1 bonus die because you're literally holding up a lightsaber.
Boy.
Yeah. Is it 2 purple, 1 red?
2 purple, 1 red. Yes.
That's all.
Hang on a second here.
Not necessarily it's a success, but definitely a lot of advantage.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So as you do this, he goes, "Look, I'm not interested. Just go away." And you can hear him clearly walking away from the door. But the door on the other side of the hall opens up, and a Herglick woman looks out and goes, "Why are you harassing Allahu?"
Oh, wait, that's Allahu?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was Blaston. Is this not Blaston?
No, that's Allahu. Yeah,
Does a Blaston live here?
not in a long time. I heard he got a nice job somewhere.
Right. I'm gonna just knock on the door again and see
So
if
we
he
heard-
comes back.
I was just about to say, can we go full bad cop and just be like, you heard someone call for help in there, right? Take the door, fling down.
Is
I
it?
love this. I love this so much, but we're gonna stop here as you guys debate kicking in the door to this guy's fake apartment.
Goodness.
Oh,
Is it a crime to lie to the government about where you live? I don't know.
I think it is actually.
probably.
I think it's.
I'm not
I think
sure.
it's illegal to lie on your census.
Yeah. All right. So as I said, this is a great time to cut
Yeah.
right before our Jedi kick in a door and start doing un-Jedi-like things
Yes.
and accumulating conflict. Because great.
We're
Just
at the
FYI,
negotiations.
Dirty Deeds and WMD are back at their regular times this week. We hope to check them out. They are both playing some version of D&D. Dirty Deeds is Eberron. WMD is over in Faerun. Paul,
All
why don't
right.
you let us know about YouTube?
So don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel right now. Subscribing is free. You don't miss any of the action. You get access to all the shows and content. Your likes and positive comments on the videos give us a boop and give us a boop. A boop. Beep boop.
A boop.
A boop.
Give us 2 beep boops. And it helps future tavern regulars find out about the shows.
All right. Paul, where can we find you on social media and what are you up to?
I guess on Instagram, where I'm mostly on. So Cruz Paul R, CRUZPAULLR. And I also host the Latin Experience podcast. Find me on Spotify, on Pandora, all those little spaces for podcasts. So.
All right. Rhea.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at Apathetic Lesbian or on Instagram at It's Rhea G.
All right. Ruby.
Hey, you can find me various places. I'm also this is Ruby OK on Twitch, or you can find me at questbook.nz if you want to roll some dice with me as well.
Ruby is a great game master. We love playing with her.
Okay.
Drew.
I'm Drew. I'm a miniature commission painter. You saw some of my work during the break there, and you can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias as 1 Inch Heroes.
All right. I'm Rob. I play games here at the Games Tavern. You can actually see me play a character rather than all of the other characters Thursdays in WMD. You can find me on social media, specifically on Twitter at IsRafeSafe. And I can't thank you more for joining us tonight. We're back next week as our Jedi debate the lawfulness of kicking in doors and lightsabering people in their own fake apartments.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down.